You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14.
Right now at 7, there's plenty of excitement in the 4 states with the Chiefs heading back to the Super Bowl. We're going to hear how one area of business is getting ready.
Plus, Joplin police, along with a Good Samaritan, worked together to rescue a boy who fell through the ice.
And we've got ourselves another spring-like day across the area. Latest on that forecast, get you out the door, coming up.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. I'm Caitlin O'Shaughnessy.
I'm Chris Warner, just after 7 o'clock on this Tuesday morning. You guys can't do that to me, that blue swoosh. I thought something was wrong. I thought something was wrong with the TV. It's not usually there. That's new.
It is a new design, huh?
It is. It is a new design. I mean, yeah.
Sprucing it up.
If they move this table in the wrong spot, I'm not going to know what chair I'm supposed to sit in. So you can't throw changes at us that early.
Oh, goodness.
Looks great, though. It does look nice. I like that addition. And another fine addition could be another Super Bowl win for the Chiefs.
We're going for it. I think we got good chances out there.
We do.
And the Chiefs are headed to the Super Bowl, and as a result, many fans are looking for new Chiefs gear to mark the occasion.
But as KOAM Samantha Walker shows us, one store in Pittsburgh gearing up for the game says the apparel is going to look a little different this year.
Stores like the Jocks Niche Sports in Pittsburgh are ready all season to help people represent the Chiefs.
It's been up and down. They kind of had a strange season this year. People got excited, then didn't, and got excited, then didn't. But now with the playoff success, people should be really getting fired up for the Super Bowl.
And a trip to the Super Bowl only makes things more exciting.
And people are just excited, and we want to share that with them and get them the gear that they want.
For local stores, the celebrations mean an uptick in sales.
I mean, it's nice this time of year because we're usually retail's a little slower in January, February. So anything we can get to spark sales is always a bonus.
But this year, some of the apparel at stores like the Jocks Knit Sports is going to look different.
Unfortunately, the NFL and Nike no longer let the small guys carry the on-field shirts that the team wears for the AFC Championship or for the Super Bowl, if that matters. So it's a little challenging for us to get enough items, and the ones that people are looking for, unfortunately, they don't let us carry anymore.
He says official Chiefs playoff shirts and hats can only be found at retailers such as Academy or on the NFL website.
As usual, the small guy still gets stuck to him by the big guys. So it's unfortunate because we carried those items for years, and now they no longer let us carry them.
Despite the change, he says his store is still working to be prepared for Chiefs fans, with orders placed weeks ago.
Yeah, it's a lot of work goes into it ahead of time, hoping that it pays off down the road for us.
He hopes fans will continue to support local businesses this playoff season.
To support your local shops is all I can ask for. Avoid the online guys and the big retailers. They don't support the local communities like your local businesses do.
In Pittsburgh, Samantha Walker, KOAM News.
The Chiefs will face the San Francisco 49ers in Las Vegas for the Super Bowl game on February 11th.
Certainly looking forward to that Super Bowl game and looking forward more so to a Chiefs win. I don't want to jinx it, though.
No.
We'll see what happens.
But hey, let's support the local guys, right?
Absolutely.
They have plenty of cool stuff.
So. They absolutely do.
Yes.
Get out there and support those local shops because they're really cool.
Yeah.
They're awesome. You know what else is really awesome? Yeah, the weather this week and even in the next week. It's looking fantastic. Let's look outside. We can show you some fantasticness in the weather. And there it is. Our camera on top of the Cornell Complex downtown Joplin. Just a few clouds. Otherwise, beautiful start to the day. Again, it's a bit of a chilly one, but not that bad because we should be in the 20s right now, and we're not. MoDOT camera, 20th in range line. Folks getting their day underway, otherwise looking good. There's some of those clouds on the Skywatch storm tracker. No precipitation. You've got to go pretty far to the east or to the west to find precipitation. Michigan, Indiana, moving into Kentucky now. Some rain, some snow, showers in the Pacific Northwest and off the coast of California. Nothing like that here. 38 in Joplin, 37 in Pittsburgh. Again, beautiful start out there. We are looking at highs mid-upper 50s. Bear in mind, we should be in the low to mid-40s this time of year, so well above average. Sunny skies through the day, clear skies initially this evening, and we'll have a few clouds late tonight. Could also see northwest winds gusting around 20 miles an hour, so be aware of that. We do have some rain chances on the way, and that drops our temperatures back a wee bit. We'll talk about all that in the full forecast here in just a few more minutes. Caitlin?
Thanks, Chris. Oklahoma authorities make an arrest in a homicide investigation. On the evening of January 5th, the Miami, Oklahoma Police Department requested assistance from the Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation concerning a possible homicide. During the investigation, the OSBI determined there was an altercation between multiple individuals near 2nd Avenue Northeast and H Street. That incident led to the shooting and death of this man, 27-year-old Matthew Vincent LaCastro. Based on the investigation, an arrest warrant was issued for this man, 34-year-old Travis Christian Wilbur. On Friday, Wilbur was arrested on a charge of first-degree murder. And a Joplin police officer and an anonymous Good Samaritan joined forces to rescue a boy from an icy pond. Reports of someone falling through the ice at Mercy Park alerted Joplin police Sunday night at around 6 p.m. Authorities say a 12-year-old boy fell through the ice with his head above water. A Good Samaritan and a Joplin police officer jumped in the water to rescue the boy. Mets treated the boy on site for non-life-threatening injuries, and the Good Samaritan left the scene without being identified. The Frontenac School District earns the Kansas Department of Education Commissioner's Award yesterday. The award recognizes Frontenac as one of the top school districts in the state of Kansas, a distinction shared with only 5 other school districts across the state. This is the 5th straight year the Frontenac School District has earned the Kansas Department of Education Commissioner's Award.
Because this actually goes out to all school districts, public and private, that we accredit in the state of Kansas. So you're talking about 286 public school districts and about another 90 private systems. And Frontenac is the only multiple recipient of the Commissioner's Award with highest distinction, which means they are graduating students and having them go on past high school at a rate that's unheard of.
Frontenac is the only Southeast Kansas district and the largest district in the state to earn this highest honor. Up next, Jasmine Kyle joins us to give us some tips on how to treat happy tail syndrome with your dog. Plus, students at Anderson School had the opportunity to hear from a Holocaust survivor yesterday. Amber Jenkins shares their experience. You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14.
Chances are
Happy tail syndrome is probably something you may not be familiar with. Jasmine Kyle, the director of the SEK Humane Society, is with us this morning of what to not only explain what this syndrome is, but how to treat it.
Yeah.
And who's the special guest right here?
This is Zappa. Zappa is almost 2 years old and he is a hound healer mix. Now you'll see that Zappa has a rather large bandage on his tail.
Yes.
So this morning we're going to talk about happy tail syndrome.
All right.
So it is with dogs that have super long tails and they are super duper happy, where we go into helicopter mode where that tail is going everywhere. You'll hear the jokes of that tail can take a leg off. Their tails have a lot of force, and sometimes when they nick a corner or an armchair leg, those points, whether the head or the feet for humans, it's the same with head and tail for dogs. When they get nicked, they spray everywhere. It can be really, really scary, right?
Oh, baby.
So we always recommend you call a vet, but we've had calls, especially recently with a patron, and it was after hours. She didn't know what to do, right? Because they're closed. So today I'm going to give you a quick, simple DIY on what you can do.
Okay.
So you can get these materials at Walmart. All it is cloth adhesive tape, and the other is self-adhering bandage gauze, okay? So if you have 2 people at home, just like Mr. Zappa here, he knows how to sit on command with that self-adhesive tape. If you think of my tail as the arm, you're gonna put one side of adhesive tape all the way from top to bottom. Okay. Same thing on the other side. Now you're gonna leave a 6 inches on the end of that. So tape on each side of the tail, and we're going to post about this today on our social media, and then you're going to start wrapping the tail in gauze. Now the trick is, right, because you're thinking, well, that's just going to wag off. That's why you leave that extra ½ foot of adhesive tape at the end of the tail. You're going to twist it, bring it back up, and then a second roll. So Zappa has been with this bandage for 8 hours now, has not messed with it, has not chewed it. If you can get it to last 8 hours, that's great. If you can get it to last 24 hours, fantastic. Sometimes it'll last up to days. But
eventually, will it wag off or they chew it off eventually?
So if you see your dog start to chewing, that type of jazz, that's when you're probably going to have to get a cone, or he's only in tail bandage under monitored hours. But with Zappa, the biggest thing when you're wrapping, you don't want to do it too tight, right? So that way you don't cut off circulation. Second thing is that you don't do it all the way up to the base. We want to make sure he can go to the bathroom comfortably. There's nothing tagging back there. That's one of the big reasons of why they'll try and chew it off, because it's a lot of irritation back there. And then once we see, like with Zappa last night, it took him about 10 minutes for him to get less curious about it, and then we went on a walk. So that way that he gets used to that movement with the bandage on, and then he didn't bother it whatsoever. So now that's what you can do in an emergency situation. So during the day, always call your vet. They're most likely going to do the same thing. In severe cases, though, you do need to be prepared, because the biggest thing with happy tail syndrome is if it continuously opens up again and again, it's not fair for your doggo. Right. So your vet may recommend the docking of the tail for your dog's safety, but for right now, this is what you can do in emergency situations. And we will be posting a video on this day on our social media, so you can watch that video and have it kind of saved in your favorites in case of an emergency.
Perfect. And real quick, tell us about this chili cook-off you guys are having.
Yeah, so we have our 47th annual chili dinner coming up on Super Bowl Sunday. So the big football game. We're super duper excited. Going to be from 11 to 3 in the lower level of the Memorial Auditorium. We're going to be cooking up almost 500 pounds of chili from scratch.
And a chili dog, huh? All right. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And stay tuned, because we've got more news coming up right after this.
Store, including hot buys now up to 50% off. The President's Day sale going on now, only at Ashley.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. It is about to be 7:16 a.m. on this Tuesday morning. It's a live look from our camera on the Cornell Complex, downtown Joplin. A few clouds out there. Otherwise, a pretty nice start to the day. MoDOT camera 20th and Rangeline looking pretty good as well. And as we head over to Kansas, the KDOT camera on 69. Once it pops up, I assure you, it is looking fantastic. There it is as well. Great start to the day. Chilly, but otherwise not bad. Nothing on the Skywatch Storm Tracker locally. You've got to go way out to our east, Michigan, Indiana, now getting into Kentucky, or you got to head way out to the west in order to find any kind of shower, snow, any precipitation. Our camera, 7th and Rangeline, another great view of that sunrise this morning. We're sitting at 38. It is partly cloudy, feeling like 38 with a west-northwest breeze at 3. Temperatures around the region, I've been reminding folks, just so you can kind of get some bearing here. We're supposed to be in the 20s right now. Our average lows are supposed to be right around the mid-20s. And we've got some low 30s out there. We've got some cool spots for sure. Most of us, though, mid-upper 30s out there, so well above where we should be, about 10, 12 degrees. And that's where our highs are going to be again today, 10, 12 degrees above normal. Sunny skies through the morning, warming up pretty decently into the mid-40s by late morning. And as we head into the afternoon, even better yet again, mid to upper 50s, sunny skies, northwest breeze could occasionally gust upwards of 20 miles an hour, but nothing too crazy out there. But just be aware of those breezy conditions. A few clouds to the late evening and overnight, and it's again chilly, but well above where we should be as we go back into the mid to upper 30s. And we have some rain chances coming in toward the end of this week that are going to bring our temperatures down a wee bit, but they'll still technically be above average. So we get into Friday morning, that's when we're going to start to kick off some showers, maybe a rumble of thunder or two. And with that said, of course, no severe weather, nothing like that, but mostly just rain. And once it gets going Friday, as you see here, we go through Saturday at 2 o'clock. Rain continues. We go through the night. We go into Sunday evening. Rain continues. In fact, it won't leave until Monday around the area. So we have a few days of rain shower chances out there. Not a complete washout, but rain. And like I said, it brings our temperatures down a little bit, but not significantly so. And they're still going to be above average. Tomorrow, sunny, near 60, if not into the low 60s. 60s Thursday and Friday as well. A few more clouds on Thursday. The rain up through Monday. And see, our temperatures do drop back a bit, but they don't go below average. They don't even go to average. They'll still be above average as we're 50 at the coolest on Monday. And then we see a few more clouds, some sun, mix of that next week. Despite clouds, temperatures warm right back up again, well above average into the upper 50s, pushing near 60 by next Thursday. So we've got several days of pretty darn decent weather and some much needed rain in the mix as well. That's Check Your Forecast. We'll be back with more right after this.
We offer prizes starting at $250. Please visit the Joplin Museum website for all of the video contest information, joplin-museum.org.
Students in Anderson, Missouri listened to a story of resilience through the words of a Holocaust survivor.
KOAM's Amber Jenkins has more.
Students at McDonald County High School gathered to learn history straight out the mouth of a Holocaust survivor.
I realized that as one of the youngest survivors, I had an obligation. There are only, I think, less than 250,000 survivors left in the world now. And the ones that were bearing witness were dying or too old to do it anymore. And when that sunk in, I realized I had to do it.
Erica Swartz lost her entire family except her mother during the Holocaust.
It didn't teach me anything because what it brought me was just incredible, depression and a very, very negative outlook on my own life and the world around me. Sadly, my mother never recovered. She never found peace.
Counting her blessings and focusing on them was key to her happiness afterwards. A key she wants to pass on to the younger generations.
I wish to God I had my family, but I have used that as a means to remind myself every day of how blessed I am. And
some blessings I have is being able to change my environment from a bad situation that I was in into a better one.
Being a teenager back then and now have something in common.
Seems like, the teenagers today are going through a lot of the same stuff that I remember going through. So I think that part, the hormones and all of the angst and everything, I think that's the same for all of us.
Most of the students listen closely to Swartz's story. It's more impactful than a textbook.
I feel like it had a little bit more of an impact hearing it from someone that actually survived, hearing the hurt in her voice whenever she talked about it, hearing the joys she had for the inspiration and the turning point in her life. So I would say it was a really good emotional roller coaster that you could relate to.
Reporting in Anderson, Amber Jenkins, KOAM News.
And Erica Schwartz shared her story with the public. She was at the McDonald County High School Performing Arts Center last night, which is just incredible.
Absolutely. It's an incredible story, and it's an incredible lesson in making yourself better as well. It's important to remember what happened and make yourself better.
Never let any obstacles hold you back. Just
Absolutely.
keep living life. Good for her. Well, coming up, a family in Arma, Kansas lost everything in a fire. At least Noe shares how the family is setting on overcoming their tragedy.
And we've got ourselves another spring-like day here in the 4 states. We're going to take a look at that forecast when we come back.
You're watching the 4 states' most watched news.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. The time now is 7:27 a.m. I'm Caitlin O'Shaughnessy. Well, some of the brightest in the 4 states took part in the 2nd annual Native American STEM Fair at Downstream Casino Pavilion yesterday. Students from around our area showed off their STEM skills, competing in areas of science, technology, engineering, and math. For students, it wasn't just competition, it was also about using their skills to benefit the community.
Science is actually just one part of STEM. So science, you're going to cover things like biology, chemistry, and those sorts of things. But really, STEM covers a much larger area. And of course, the T in STEM is technology. We have a student who brought a project with bug bots, or sort of like battle bots.
Prizes were awarded for 1st, 2nd, and 3rd place in each division, as well as medals for overall winners. And the Joplin Area Chamber of Commerce opens up nominations for its 2024 Business of the Year Awards. The awards will be presented at the Chamber's annual banquet to 3 businesses, 1 business that employs 1 to 50 employees, 1 that employs 51 plus employees, and 1 not-for-profit business. For more information, including a list of requirements, head over to our website at koamnewsnow.com. Well, it took some help from Ozark Crane to raise a 70-foot cross yesterday at the Pentecostal Life Center in Joplin. The base of the cross was built last summer, and the main pole and attached hardware was made in Kentucky and trucked here. The cross, not just 70 feet tall, but 40 feet across, will be lit at night and should be visible for miles around. Basketball fans last night showed out to Iola High School, but it wasn't your traditional game of hoops. Teams from Allen Community College, Iola First Responders, Iola Pharmacy and Friends, and the Iola School District battled it out in a tournament of donkey basketball. Officials say it's a great way to get the community out together.
So the proceeds go to Stuco, and they do a lot of great things for the school. We also have junior prom. They're made chicken and noodles out there, so everybody's eating the chicken and noodles, and I think it's just small town community. They like to come out and support the kids and have a good time.
The tournament was sponsored by the Iola High School Student Council.
And we've got ourselves another spring-like day across the area. Skywatch Storm Tracker, precipitation out to our east, out to our west. Most of the lower 48 is void of any activity right now. We are 38 in Joplin. We got clear skies, a few clouds here and there. 37 in Pittsburgh. And as we get our day underway, again, we should be in the low to mid 40s for our highs. We're going mid-upper 50s today. We're going to have sunny skies through the afternoon, clear initially this evening, and we'll see a few clouds start to roll in later this evening. We do have some rain chances on the way. We're going to tell you what those will do to our temperatures and whether or not we're going to stick with this spring-like pattern in that full forecast here in just a few more minutes. Caitlin?
Thanks, Chris. Well, a young family in Arma, Kansas lost everything in a house fire that took place last Thursday. Kaylee Ware and her fiance, Chad O'Banion, woke up early Thursday morning to the smell of smoke and quickly realized their home was on fire. Though the family all made it out safely, their house is destroyed and they are now trying to start over. KOAM's Lily Snowy spoke with the family to learn how they're overcoming this tragedy.
It's honestly the last thing we expected to happen to us.
Kaylee Ware and her fiance came back to visit their Arma, Kansas home days after it had been destroyed in an early morning electrical fire.
At first it was just like panic, get our kids out of the house, and then it turned into, once I got them taken care of, I looked and it was just devastating to watch my house burn down. We brought both of our girls home in it, so it was just kind of hard to see all those memories that we built in this house just kind of burn away.
Kaylee and her fiance Chad are now trying to rise up from the ashes and start anew, something they say wouldn't be possible without the support of their community.
We received a lot of clothes and diapers, which was tremendously helpful because we lost all of our diapers that we had just bought, and all of their clothes are pretty well gone, but we've received a lot of clothes. We're still needing like household appliances like blankets and pillows.
Through tragedy, Kaylee has found a positive outlook, something she says she does for her daughters.
Our children read off of us and they feed off of our energy, so I've really tried to keep a positive energy for the girls. As hard as all of this is, it was just a house. Our family is the most important thing and they're safe and we're okay. Take it as a life lesson and grow from there.
The couple will be looking to tear down the house and continue to live on property. Kaylee and her family are accepting donations from those willing and able to help. For more information on how you can help, visit our website at KOAMnewsnow.com. And that's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. Super Bowl 58 is here. We'll see how much it'll cost you to go to the big game.
Car crash? Call Johnson, Voorhees, and Martucci.
You guys ready? Don't miss the game show phenomenon that has America hooked. I did not see that coming. The Floor, all new tonight on Fox.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. Our good friend Charlene Patton from the Kansas Soybean Commission joining us from Topeka again. And so I had a theme of game night snacks or family night snacks even. And with the weather we've had, these are excellent snacks if you're stuck at home for any reason.
That's right. And you know what? These are, the one we're going to do is a soy snack mix today. And it has dry ingredients mainly in it and would be a great measuring activity for kids. So of all ages. So get them in the kitchen and they can learn to measure. I've got 4 cups of square cereals here, And again, we talked about this before. When you're making it yourself, you can exchange some of these ingredients to maybe that you have on hand. Now I'm going to let you add pretzel sticks. This is another fun activity for kids because we broke them into pieces.
Okay.
So they're a little bit smaller because when you're playing a game, you might want a little bit smaller pieces to munch on. Then we have oyster crackers that we're adding. There we go. And then some sesame sticks. And that's 1 cup of all these ingredients. That adds a little bit of spice. And then we have a 1/2 cup of honey roasted nuts.
Okay.
Little bit of sweetness that we're adding. And then you and I were talking before, this is roasted edamame. You have the package there, and it comes plain, and you can see we have wasabi here. So that's a little bit of extra spice, but if you'd rather have just the regular ones, you could. And that adds that roasted green in there.
Okay.
I'm gonna stir this, and you're gonna make the sauce that goes on it. We have our other soy ingredient, margarine, that we've melted.
Okay.
And then we have soy sauce, a little bit of chai seasoning, and that's going to add a little bit of extra spice. It calls for 1/8 teaspoon, but if you want more, you can. And then a little bit of maple syrup there. It's going to add some sweetness. So you're going to mix that with that little whisk there again.
Okay, good. I was about to ask which one should I use because I wouldn't know for sure myself. So.
Well, you're doing great. And then we're just going to pour that over this, Chris.
Okay.
And then this will go on a baking sheet, and then we're going to put it in the oven for about 30 minutes and then stir it a little bit in between time at 275. And that will crunch that up and then just adds a little bit of extra spice to it and a little bit of crunchiness. So easy to make, and you know what? If you wanted to do this right out of the oven, then it would even be a little warm. And on a day like we've had, that'll be nice.
Okay.
So we have that here, and it's ready to go.
All right, and then you made up a little bit that I can try. Now we were talking last week. I used to be able to do spicy stuff, so I want to see how spicy this is.
Okay.
Okay.
Not too bad.
No, not too bad at all.
And if you want the recipes, they can go to kansassoybeans.org, or they can call our 800 number, 877-KS-SOYBEAN. We'll mail them all the recipes for January.
All right, and of course you can find this on our website as well at KOAMnewsnow.com. Charlene, thanks so much for coming down. Looking forward to next week because you always bring incredible food. And we will be back with more of the KOAM Morning News right after this.
At Denver Mattress, comfort comes easy.
9 right here on Fox 14.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. It is 7:40 on this Tuesday morning. This is a live look at our camera on the Cornell Complex in downtown Joplin. And as you can see, we've got a great start to the day, just a few clouds out there. MoDOT camera 20th and range line also looking really good. A lot of folks getting their day underway. It's a beautiful day to stay home if you can, but if you have to work, try and move your desk outside or sit by the window, open the window, whatever the case may be. KDOT camera just south of Pittsburgh, also looking good and great. That was good. That's a combination of good and great. Skywatch Storm Tracker, nothing really happening here on the local level. We got some snow and some rain off to our east. We got some showers out to the west, but for the majority of the lower 48, nothing out there, and it's going to stay that way. Another great shot of that beautiful sunrise this morning from our camera at 7th and range line. We are 38 in Joplin, partly cloudy, west-northwest breeze at 3. Temperatures around the region, again, they should be in the 20s. They are absolutely not in the 20s, but we do have some cool spots out there, some low 30s, but a lot of us starting to get into that mid-upper 30s range ahead of another day of being well above average out there. Sunny skies through the morning. We're going to go mid-40s by late morning. Highs today, again, should be low to mid 40s. Nope, they are going to be mid upper 50s across the area. So that's 10, 15 degrees above where we should be for this time of year. And we'll have a northwesterly breeze, occasionally gusting upwards of 20 miles an hour. A few stray clouds through the evening and overnight. Otherwise, again, chilly, but well above where we should be. And we're going to go into the mid to upper 30s again tonight. Now we have some rain on the way, and that's going to drop our temperatures a little bit as we head into the weekend, but believe it or not, even with the rain and the clouds, we'll still be above average as we head into the weekend. So by Friday morning, we start showers. This is Friday evening, showers continuing. Initially, no real impact on our temperatures, but they'll start to have a slight one out there. The rain continues through our Saturday, into Saturday evening, into Sunday morning, into Sunday evening, and it will continue until Monday before it starts to clear out. But despite all that rain, which we need more of this rain, our temperatures not significantly impacted. Near 60 tomorrow, sunny. A few clouds Thursday, 60s Thursday, Friday, upper 50s Saturday, low 50s Sunday and Monday with those rain chances. And then as we head into the other half of next week, we return well above average once again as we go into the upper 50s, pushing near 60 by next Thursday. So Mother Nature giving us two things. One, much needed rain, and two, a break from those frigid temperatures we dealt with in the first half of January. That is a check of your forecast. Now, here's Caitlin with a check of Consumer Watch.
Thanks, Chris. Well, a new poll finds that a majority of Americans say they feel they pay too much in taxes. The new poll was conducted by the University of Chicago Harris School of Public Policy in partnership with the Associated Press. And research center at the poll found about 2/3 of taxpayers say they spent too much on federal income taxes, state sales taxes, and local property taxes, while less than 25% of Americans say they received a good value for paying those taxes. The poll comes as the 2024 tax filing season gets underway. Taxpayers have until Monday, April 15th to finish their filings. President Joe Biden's administration is implementing new requirements for artificial intelligence. The White House AI Council convened Monday to review President Biden's executive order from October, which includes mandates such as requiring AI companies to report their safety tests. The council says that the reports are to ensure new systems are safe before being released to the public. The executive order also calls for the National Institute of Standards and Technology to create a set of standards for the companies to meet when assessing safety. And we now have the final two teams for Super Bowl 58. The Kansas City Chiefs will take on the San Francisco 49ers in Las Vegas on Sunday, February 11th. The last time these two teams faced off in the Super Bowl was 2019 when the Chiefs won. This year's big game is already proving to be one of the most expensive yet. Jen Sullivan explains why prices are soaring.
Super Bowl 58 is set. The San Francisco 49ers taking on defending Super Bowl champs, the Kansas City Chiefs.
At the end of the day, we want to compete. We want to go out there and win.
49er fans ecstatic following Sunday's nail-biter win over the Detroit Lions.
It was incredible. I got a little nervous in the first half.
It was awesome. Instant classic for sure.
Fan enthusiasm soaring, and so are ticket prices. As of Monday morning, the get-in price was $8,188, which is 51% more expensive than the get-in price for the Super Bowl this time last year. According to StubHub, the most expensive ticket listed is more than $85,000 and includes a VIP package. With the Super Bowl being hosted in Las Vegas, that too could drive up prices since it's a major tourist destination. And there's no denying that Taylor Swift's presence at this year's big game will also impact the prices as she cheers on her boyfriend, Chiefs tight end Travis Kelce.
You gotta fight for your right to party!
The singer has already helped break NFL viewership records. Last week's playoff game between the Chiefs and the Bills was the most watched divisional playoff game in history. Airlines are also seizing on the hype. American Airlines and United both adding special flights between Kansas City and Las Vegas with special flight numbers like 1989, a nod to the year Swift was born and her most popular album. For Consumer Watch, I'm Jen Sullivan.
And those are our Consumer Watch stories this morning. Now let's take a look at the market prices before the opening bell.
Welcome to Miss Daisy's, where she's constructed now on the next Tamron Hall. Tamron Hall, this morning at 10, right here on Fox 14.
Last Saturday was the 25th annual Monster Truck Winter Nationals, and taking center stage was the world's youngest female monster truck driver.
Colin Bedros has more on the young phenom who's ready to take the monster truck world by storm.
Most 15-year-olds at this time are getting to know high school a little bit more and also trying to figure out what their high school career is going to look like in the next coming years. But for 15-year-old Faith Freed, she's following in her dad's footsteps, which is taking her away from the classroom and on the dirt.
How in the world does a 15-year-old come up with this plan to be a monster truck driver? Like, how does that even come about?
It was complicated, honestly, because I had to make that decision to actually do it. But my dad is also a driver, so I grew up around him and watching him, and that's when I kind of knew. I was like, you know what, I might want to do this too one day.
Freed and her truck Animal House are set to take on the competition on January 27th. She's expected to be the world's youngest female monster truck driver at Winter Nationals.
When you hear the words world's youngest female monster truck driver, what stands out to you as that?
I don't even believe it most of the time. Honestly, it's like hasn't even processed to me yet, but it's such an amazing feeling when I do hear that.
Born and raised in Florida, Freed started her journey of becoming a monster truck driver last year at age 14. She followed after her dad, Shane Freed, who toured with Monster Jam for over 30 years before retiring from monster truck driving in 2023.
He seems proud some days. There's sometimes it's a little iffy, but most of the time, yeah, he is really proud of me.
This weekend's competition marks an important one for Freed and is excited to have another challenge.
There's always such amazing drivers out there, and they have it's just a huge competition, and it really challenges me to drive against them, so I really just love it.
But besides preparing for the competition, Freed's heart is in it for the fans.
I really hope that I see everyone out there, because I know that this isn't a very big town, but I know that there's a lot of monster truck fans out here, so I can't wait to see them Saturday.
In Alexandria for News Channel 5, I'm Colin Bedros.
You know, Chris, I actually did do an interview with some monster trucks, and it's incredible how big they are. You don't realize it. I mean, their wheels alone are huge.
Absolutely. I took Colt to the monster truck rally down in Miami last year, and boy, that was something else, I'll tell you right now. You know what else? Are you making something? Is somebody it smells like bacon in here.
He's been going on about
it. It smells strongly like bacon. Maybe I just want bacon. And today's a great day for bacon or really anything because food's good anytime. We've got an absolutely beautiful day across the area. Again, our camera on top of the Cornell complex showing us that beautiful start to the day. Just a couple of stray clouds remain as we are you sure you're not cooking? Tim? Okay. Oh, all right. Tim's making, I knew I smelled bacon. Tim's in the controller. He is confirmed. He says it's chicken pot. It's not chicken pot. He says it's chicken pot pie. It smells like bacon. If only we had smell-o-vision. You folks at home would probably agree it smells like bacon. Beautiful start to the day out there. Beautiful smell in the studio of what smells like bacon, but apparently isn't. MoDOT camera, 20th and Rangeline. Folks getting their day underway. Another beautiful spring-like day for us. The Skywatch Storm Tracker, the last of the clouds on their way out. Rain, snow to our east, rain off to our west. Nothing else for the majority of the lower 48. We're going to stay calm and dry for at least the next few days. 38 in Joplin right now, 36 in Pittsburgh, so a bit of a chilly start, but above average, and that's where our temperatures are headed today as we're looking at mid-upper 50s for our highs. Sunny skies out there, a few clouds again this evening. We got some rain chances on the way, and that's going to briefly cool our temperatures. We'll talk about all that, plus the news you need to know, and we're going to discover the source of this bacon right after this.
From the moment you call.
Kansas native was deployed to Afghanistan during Operation Enduring Freedom. We are proud to salute Ryan M. Mann, a four-state hero.
Here's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door. Authorities in Oklahoma arrest a man wanted for a murder in Miami. Miami police say 34-year-old Travis Wilbur shot and killed 27-year-old Matthew LaCastro on January 5th. Last Friday, authorities in Craig County found and arrested Wilbur. Officials say the shooting happened after an altercation between Wilbur and LaCastro near 2nd Avenue Northeast and H Street in Miami. The OSBI was called to assist with the investigation. And a Joplin police officer and an anonymous Good Samaritan joined forces to rescue a boy from an icy pond. Reports of someone falling through the ice at Mercy Park alerted Joplin police Sunday night around 6 p.m. Authorities say a 12-year-old boy fell through the ice with his head above water. The Good Samaritan and a Joplin police officer jumped into the water to rescue the boy. Mets treated the boy on site for non-life-threatening injuries, and the Good Samaritan left the scene without being identified. Students at McDonald County High School yesterday gathered to learn history straight from the mouth of a Holocaust survivor. Erica Schwartz lost her entire family except her mother during the Holocaust. Counting her blessings and focusing on them was her key to happiness afterward, a key she wants to pass on to the younger generations.
And we've got ourselves another spring-like day out there. Mid-upper 50s for highs, sunny skies. Northwest breeze could occasionally gust to 20. Keep that in mind. We're going to be seeing clouds gradually across the area, so mostly clear skies. Mid-upper 30s out there. And then as we head into Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, rain chances roll in. It does kick our temperatures back a little bit, but they stay above average, pushing the 60s, by the way, Thursday and Friday. And even after that brief cool down, we return to the mid-upper 50s, maybe even getting near 60 by next Thursday.
Well, basketball fans in San Antonio got a bit more than just basketball over the weekend.
During the Timberwolves-Spurs game, a bat started flying around the court at Frostbank Center. The San Antonio Coyote mascot, dressed as Batman, came out with a butterfly net and managed to catch the bat.
Then the Coyote gets a big congrats from the Spurs players.
All right.
Incredible.
Batman came as a coyote.
How did he have the Batman costume in his size?
I am kind of curious about that as well. One of the great mysteries of
That's a win.
life, isn't it? Well, thank you all so much for letting us put the good in your morning.
We'll see you right back here with more news and weather today at noon.